Hello, everybody out there. Hello, hello, hello.
Oh my
As
goodness,
threatened.
I think we're on. I think
We
we're
are.
on.
Yeah, yeah. As threatened, here we are. Uh, Live this glorious, glorious Thursday morning. It's nice and cloudy here.
Did
I
you
don't
want
even
me to?
know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, go ahead. It's nice and cloudy here, and it is. Yeah, it's really dreary day here, but that's okay. We're gonna brighten it up with a little indie vault breakfast buzz. Yeah, Randy, put the coffee up there.
I was just going to ask. You
Yeah,
want me to
yeah,
put the coffee
yeah.
on?
I
There
can't
we
see
are.
my. I can't see. I can see my face. Ill.
Coffee's on.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, yeah. A pouring cup of coffee every morning, every Thursday morning. We pour a cup of coffee for those individuals who might need it. And today we're gonna talk CyberShock. We're gonna answer some questions that we got because we got Thursday morning questions, Randy.
Thursday morning questions.
Thursday
Awesome.
morning questions. We rarely get those on Thursday morning, but we're gonna have them, and we're gonna have hopefully if we can get them up, we're gonna have an unboxing. So so I'm gonna hit the intro, and me and Randy will come back. We'll be all in your face with our guest, and yeah. Anything else before that, Randy?
No, I'm good. Roll it.
All right, here we go. Good morning out there once again. This is the iNDIEVOLT Breakfast Buzz. My name is Varian Grant, co-owner of Last Call Comics, been so for the last 8 years now, and founder of iNDIEVOLT Media LLC. Started making comics way, way, way back in the halcyon days of 2008.
Halcyon.
My first book published was a black and white interior action comedy called Psycho Sirens. I'm a father, a husband, a geek, a creator, a publisher, a reluctant taxpayer, and artist, shamefully not in that order. And again, this is the iNDIEVOLT Breakfast Buzz. I'm joined by Mr. Zimmerman.
I swear there's a dog.
It's mine.
He's catching the
It's my
microphone.
dog.
I think he's more awake than I am.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. I'm
Yeah, my
Randy
dog.
Zimmerman. That's all right. That's all right. I've been doing alternative and independent comics for, well, much longer than Varian has. In fact, when Varian started publishing, I was printing a newspaper. I was so fed up with the direct market system. I was printing a local newspaper that was comics and entertainment that we were giving away for free, that was advertiser supported. Went through 100 issues of that over the last decade and decided to stop printing it after 1 million copies. Flint, Michigan area with the water situation and all, it was kind of hard to find advertisers that wanted to invest in local print media. So now I'm back looking at the direct market stuff. But before that, I had many, many, many years in the direct market printing independent comics under the Arrow Massive Comics banners. Hello, Trico.
Morning, Trike.
And working freelance with a lot of different companies. So I have a lot of experience in the market. Retailed for many, many years. In fact, met my wife while I was retailing at a comic shop. So got the experience. So now I'm back in the direct market.
Randy, could you hold that Flint Comics cover up you just held up?
Yeah.
Is that the George Perez cover? George
Yeah,
Perez
that's
you
issue
have with?
50. We had George Perez on issue 50.
That's awesome.
He was gracious enough to do the pencils under the condition that one of our contributors, who was a young lady at the time that was a frequent contributor to the paper, did the inks on it. And then we had the great graphic artist Paul Sizer went through and did the colors and the final touches on it. Turned out really good. In fact, this is the one of the characters we ran through the paper, or all of these are characters we ran through the paper. It's the Spark character who really represented Flint. Then there was Lucky, the one-eyed dog, and then See-Through Baby, who was a baby that you could see through.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And of
It was
course,
it was a great cover, and again, that was for our 50th issue. We did a lot of fun stuff.
by the great George Perez. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And we're joined by a guest this morning. Now, Aaron, I'm gonna kill your last name, but is it Calimeri?
Yep.
Okay, so Aaron Calimeri, creator of CyberShock, which is we're gonna talk about that today. We got him here with us, and Aaron, introduce yourself to people so they know who you are.
I don't know. I'm just a regular dude. I grew up about 40 minutes from Flint, and I still live about 40 minutes from Flint.
Awesome.
And I'm just a small town dude that loves comic books. I started collecting when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I'm 41 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I started watching your boy Zach's videos, and kind of been Comicsgate since before Comicsgate started.
Mm-hmm.
And I once they started, people started making comic books on Indiegogo and stuff like that through, like, once I saw Zach and Ethan doing it and some other small people doing it, I was like, hey, I want to do this.
Mm-hmm. It is Anthony.
Anthony and Larry from Rebel Comics are both in the house. Hello,
Hey,
folks. Thanks for coming on.
yeah, Larry
For listening.
and Anthony, appreciate it, guys. Yeah, we got we've heard that story. You know, we heard people saying they when a lot of stuff started, if they were out of comics, they started to come back to it. That's a similar story with Randy. Randy was always, you know, he never Randy stopped, but he didn't.
I had my fill of the direct market, specifically Diamond. I kept butting heads with them over and over again when I was printing Arrow comics, and I just got fed up and decided to stop doing it. That's why I was doing the paper.
Yeah, and but you were still doing cons, promoting cons and being con promoter. So you were still like in the industry, but outside of it.
Well, I didn't want to. Never really outside of it. Always wanted to do comics. You know, like we've discussed that before. When you get that first book in your hands, when you actually see the physical copy of the first book, you have a light that goes off in the back of your brain, and that's either what you're going to do for the rest of your life, or you're not.
Yeah.
You know, you make that decision pretty much right at that point, and I made that decision to just keep going. And so, even though Diamond was throwing a bunch of hurdles and hassles at me, didn't mean that I wanted to get out of comics. So I started doing a lot of commercial and graphics work. In fact, I've won quite a bit of awards for doing sequential art for advertising and for commercial work. I've designed a lot of, like earlier before we were on camera, I've designed quite a few logos, and I've done, you know, quite a few instructional comics.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Carla says, morning, guys. Hello, Stephanie.
Carla.
Hello, Randy, and our dear friend Aaron. Yeah,
Hi, Carla.
Yeah.
Carla is the artist for Grim Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And Grim Reaper 2 is up on Indiegogo.
Yeah, I spoke.
It's going to be soon if it's not already.
I spoke to Carla. We gotta get her on the show so we can talk about Grim Reaper. I like the way that book looks, and of course, we want to get everybody on here that has a book that they're putting out, because you know, there's never enough coverage, never enough. So tell us a little about CyberShock. Now I know it's in your campaign. I'm gonna put your campaign up here in a little bit too. But the first thing when I saw the art, I thought I couldn't think of the artist, but I immediately thought of the game, which was Metal Gear Solid.
Yep.
The art style. So tell us a little bit about the comic you're working on and the story behind it.
So I met Art of Zoo a couple of years ago, and I commissioned him to do a cover for another project I was doing, and that fell through eventually. But I always liked Zoo's artwork because I love Metal Gear, and he loves Metal Gear. And I always loved his art style. It looked so cool. And so yeah, the book definitely has a Metal Gear feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
CyberShock is written by me and drawn by Art of Zoo, and he did the art and colors on the covers. And then he did the art on the interior, and Simon Sim Potier did the colors on the interiors.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's CyberShock is a science fiction action story. It's a little cyberpunk, and it's a story about a female Black Ops agent that gets fed up with, well, she discovers that her company that she works for is developing mind control software so that they can control their agents.
Mm.
And she's not down with that, so she steals the software and tries to escape the base, and they send basically their baddest dude after her to stop her. And it's a big action story, and there's some twists and turns through the story as far as allegiances go, as who's on whose team and things like that. There's a couple twists there, but for the most part, it's just balls to the wall action, science fiction, Metal Gear type comic book.
Cool. Imbriosos, says bonjour.
Bonjour.
Rob Anderson says, "What's up, gents?"
Hey, Rob.
And I see that you are currently in demand with this book.
Yep. I ran the campaign for 25 days, and then I went in demand. It's been in demand since October, and we have always had the ship date at listed as March. So, and if you can scroll down towards the bottom of the campaign, a couple days ago I put up a progress report.
Yeah.
Right there, and that shows where we're at right now. We're actually a little bit farther than this now because Sim sent me some pages.
Okay.
But we look like, so far it looks like we're on target still for March. So I'm happy about that because I really want to hit March.
I want to talk about that progress report there, and that's something that a lot of people don't do. Yeah, I mean they'll put it in their updates or their comments, but you put it right there on the front page.
Yeah, I actually stole that idea from Zach. Because I saw he did that with one of his books. I think he did it with Jawbreakers Volume 2.
Yeah.
That is that's a courtesy that maybe a lot of other people should adopt. That's pretty cool.
I just kind of wanted to, especially early on, we had none of the letters done, and I wrote 0, and I thought, showing that we had no letters done, but then showing how much of the rest of the stuff we had done would kind of prove to people that I was telling the truth on our progress.
Right.
And so I was just kind of figured I would just keep updating it, keep showing people where we're at, and hopefully, people would be happy with the progress and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's very smart.
Yeah, and so you had you had a physical copy tier, excuse me, digital copy, physical copy 2-pack, and
we used to have a lot more tiers. Like we had some drawn in the book tiers, and we had a name of the tank tier, and we had a bunch. But once they got sold out and everything, I put them in the hidden mode. So that it wouldn't clutter up the page.
That's one of the cool things about crowdfunding is you get the people that are crowdfunding sometimes get a chance to be a part of the book.
Yeah.
Be a character, name a tank, name a weapon, name a city. That is pretty cool. Dave Supreme says, "Morning, everyone. Morning, Dave." And Rob Anderson, of course, is sharing us. Rob Anderson himself, a indie comics advocate. So he's sharing us. We appreciate that, Rob. And Rob's got Rob's working on a project. It's gonna be pretty good. Project for INDIEVOLT. Can't talk about it yet. I guess I can't talk about it, but yeah.
Always cool.
Yeah. So yeah. Now you got $1,719. You didn't ask for a lot to put this book together.
No, I mean, we had been working on this for over a year, and I was paying as we go with it, and so I'm in the hole pretty good. I'm in the hole pretty far. But I had a lot of the book done, and I didn't have another project really. Like I had some other projects that kind of fell through or whatever, different things happened. And this one had been chugging along really well. And I was like, hey, the way this one's going, this one's going to actually be completed. So I put it up on Indiegogo, and yeah, it's been cool. Like, um, I'm a little bit disappointed with the performance, but um, it's kind of to be expected because nobody knows me.
I,
Um,
I was going to say, Aaron, it's only your second campaign too. So
yeah, nobody
they all have to
knows
start
me,
somewhere.
and I haven't been that great at promoting it
Hmm.
and things like that. I've had a lot of help. I've had a lot of help with from Sim and some of my other buddies
Hmm.
in the Comicsgate community helped a lot on
Hmm.
promote. They promote the hell out of my book.
Hmm. I like that logo. The logo looks good. Um, I want to. Let me see here. And yeah, I'm gonna show these pages you sent me. 1 second. I'm gonna take this off.
And
Uh,
I'm not complaining about people not buying the book. I'm just saying, with the way the performances of the book, we're kind of talking about whether issue 2 is coming about or not, and when.
mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
because obviously, if it had exploded or something, then we would be doing the second one right away.
Well, I
This
think
is
you
an
might find
exclusive
out.
page.
Yeah, I think you might find out that just like with Zach's Iron Sights book, that when the more you're out there, the more people are going to see you, and so kicking out a second issue might actually really kick the sales of your first issues way up.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
if
I
if you look at
considered that too. Yeah.
the Zach's Iron Sights campaign, he's selling almost as half as many ones right now as he is selling twos
Hmm.
on his two campaigns, and he sold the hell out of number one.
Yeah.
So
Oh
there's
yeah.
always going to be more people coming in looking for good product. So
And
I
this
would
is
say
Yeah.
just keep working on it. You know.
this is an exclusive page that you sent me on Twitter. So first
Yeah.
time people are getting a look at it. I like that rain effect.
I
It's
sent you another
Yeah.
page too.
did you get it? You sure did.
I
Hold
sent
on
you
one
another
second.
page too. I don't know if you saw it. It was like right above it.
And you have quite a few completed pages on your campaign, or completed art pages already in your campaign
Yeah,
on the
Yeah,
campaign
we
there it
had
page.
is.
less, and we had some different colors
Hmm.
um on the original campaign. And then once I started getting more finished pages from Sims colors, I went through and I changed some of the pictures out on the campaign. The
Sure.
campaign looks a little bit better, a little bit more polished than it did for much of the time that it was live.
Hmm. That looks pretty cool. I like the colors. I like the colors. I like the look of the book. It's again that Metal Gear Solid cyberpunk feel. Um, we're gonna get around to some questions real quick. I know that the comment section will like to comment as well on our questions for the day, but I have to load them up because yeah, my computer decided that it didn't want to cooperate about 10 minutes before we went on air.
You
As
didn't
always.
you didn't crank it properly this morning.
No, I didn't didn't get it cranked quite over correctly, but
Yeah.
I think it's starting to demand a sacrifice now. I might have to get some goats.
It's connected to Alexa, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. There we go. How did I know?
It asked me that I want to connect. I'm like, sure, why not? I'll connect. All right, let's put up some questions here. And Aaron, you feel free to weigh in. What are you gonna say, Randy? Sir?
Alexa keeps asking for her sacrifice.
Yeah. She wants her sacrifice. She needs it.
Those large corporations have to have their taste.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna put up a question now.
And
And
try
I
and
thought
see.
I thought this question was kind of silly, but we're gonna answer anyway. Came from anonymous, so we know
Really,
what that
are
means.
there any silly questions except for questions from anonymous? That that anonymous guy.
Go ahead, Randy.
Sometimes. Why don't you guys ever detail the pitfalls of making comics? The financial toll, the stress it adds to relationships. To not do so is a disservice to your viewers. Anonymous.
Oh.
Anonymous. I don't know how long you've been watching IndieVolt. I don't know how long you've been watching IndieVolt, but
We've answered all of those questions. Where have you been?
yeah.
We address those almost with every time we have somebody new on the show. How's it going?
I,
Well, this is happening. Well, it's here's
yeah,
a new
I've only
twist,
watched. I've only watched a couple times, and Randy is always yelling at people.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound vicious and mean, but that's how I am. So that's how it comes out.
He does. He scares people. People are like,
I get that. I get that. The wife tells me that a lot. You scare people. What? What are you talking about?
The one thing a lot of people don't get is the financial part, and trying to make your money back is not easy.
Yeah.
It costs a lot more to make like, it can cost $0 to make a comic book, or it can cost you $20,000 to make a comic book.
And 3SOZ sums it up. Comics kill.
Yeah.
We used to have a saying back when we were doing the first Arrow. Ralph and I used to exchange a lot that says, comics are a harsh mistress. And that once you get that, like I said before, once that switch flips, you decide you're doing comics the rest of your life, comics takes over. And the creative part takes over. And you really have to work everything in around, it becomes a solid passion. You really have to work your way around that, or you don't. And then you run into a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So.
It does. 680.
But sorry, Anon, if we haven't been servicing your needs to the fullest extent. Maybe if you weren't so anonymous, you would be able to come on the air here and tell us about your pitfalls and the financial toll and the stress that's added to your relationship. Where you're more than welcome to get a hold of us and come on the air.
Yeah. 684 people listening live on IndieVolt Radio right now, multi-platform.
Awesome.
That multi-platform, what that means is that they're listening across different formats. So they could be listening through their phone, through the app, through the streamer app. They could be listening through Alexa. They could be listening through. I'm sorry, I have to whisper it.
Alexa's listening through Alexa.
She'll answer me.
Yeah.
They could be using the browser to listen as well.
You're not fooling us. She talks back. That's what
Yeah. M3SOZ says to Aaron, are you going to keep the margins gray? If so, that's different. On your pages, the margins are gray. Are you gonna keep that gray?
Yeah, we're gonna keep it whatever color Sim wants it to be.
Okay.
He's been doing great on the colors, and Sim's one of my best friends, and I trust him a lot. I'm one of those guys that just I write out the story and then I let the artist draw, and there's only been this book, all the art pages are drawn except for, like, I need one more page that I'm gonna use. It probably won't be a story page because we pretty much got the story all done. But I got 27 pages, and only one page I asked him to redraw a couple panels. That was it. And I like it that way. I like to let the artist draw because they know better than I do. And unless it's something I'm really, like, set on, that there was a certain thing that needed to be there, then I just let them go nuts.
It's kind of cool to let your artist have. As an artist, I appreciate when the writer lets me have some fun on the page.
And every collaboration is different like that too. I mean, you really have to know your artist, and you should, a couple lunches or whatever, and in order to know what they need in order to be comfortable drawing your stuff, especially if you're a writer that has a kind of a singular vision.
Trico says, in regards to my computer, if it demands a virgin sacrifice, I know a guy in South Carolina that would suffice. Larry says, I'm still trying to break even with my Kickstarter. Almost there, though. Risey says, it's better to be straightforward. That's why I like this Randy guy.
Thank you.
Yeah, Randy, killer of dreams.
Yeah, I am the dream killer.
Yeah, better than being the destroyer of worlds and childhoods, right?
So much better.
Oh, Randy's the one who saves you from ruining your life by becoming a comic creator.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. Well, you are or you're not. Yeah. Some people are better serviced asking if they want fries with that. That's the way it is.
Larry says, by the way, back Niobe birthright today. Kickstart the new year right. Fully funded in 3 days. And he says
And then we're gonna start calling him Nasser if he keeps this up.
yeah, he says Rising Lee is no relation to Niobe Lee, Stan Lee, Bruce Lee, Jet Lee, or even the General Lee, but we think he is third cousin with Motley Crue's Tommy Lee.
Wow.
M3SOZ.
What about
go
Jim
ahead.
Lee?
Yeah, I think the Jim Lee was in there. No, he didn't have Jim Lee in there. Uh-oh, there we go. M3SOZ says indie comics are a fine, accessible medium, art for the common and not so common man.
Yeah.
And then Rob says, to answer your question, IndieVolt does talk about the pitfalls of comics. You just need to subscribe. That's right. Subscribe to it. It's on YouTube, and you'll.
Yep. Yeah. Stick around long enough, we'll cover everything, and we've covered quite a few, stray corners.
Yeah, Ryder says this is true. Tommy and me are family party hardy with Jeff Hardy. And MDSC says, once your life is ruined by comics, might as well keep making them. yeah, it's like
that's I guess one way of looking at it.
It's like, you know what?
There is a lot of rewards in this industry.
I'm in too deep.
Yeah. It's like
I just gotta keep going, man.
Yeah.
I just gotta keep going.
You've already done crack, might as well. Yeah, you smoke crack? You might as well shoot heroin. Why not? All right, so
remember, don't take the brown acid.
No.
Just don't take it.
So let me get to the next question here, Randy. Sure. It is from J. Paul Thomas, who I believe has never wrote in before.
Paul Thomas?
J. Paul Thomas.
Is that? Do you think that's his real name? I used to know a Paul Thomas that was into the adult film industry. Really? How much a year would you say spend on art materials making your comics? Is it tax deductible? Well, yes. As long as you're spending money to make money. If you have a good accountant, if you go to, your little franchise tax authorities, you might get a different answer. But if you get a nice personal accountant, which I always recommend people to do, get to know your accountant and make them your friend, because they can be your friend, believe me, that actually knows the tax laws. Somebody who's a corporate accountant is always handy. Somebody who's personal, who's got a little shop. Use the little guy. He's got a little shop in town, storefront that does taxes or works out of their house. All of my accountants have mostly worked out of their house. They have their own office, the amount of money that I spend on art materials is deductible for comics because I'm constantly doing comics for money. So that's part of your supply. That's expense, cost of doing business. That's what that is. But not only that, but you also have a research expense. Anything that you buy in order to help you in your use, your education, to do your work to make that money is also deductible. Yeah, no. Get rid of that. That is not right. You need somebody a lot more
Today's
local.
episode of IndieVolt brought to you by H&R Block.
No, it's not. I don't like the large corporations like that because they're there just to fill out a form, sign the name, give it to the person, and get the money. Their main goal is to get the money. But you get an accountant in there who works and knows what they're there, what they're there for. They can be incredibly helpful for you. So that's why I always recommend looking up the small. Ask around, ask your family, ask somebody else who's got a mom and pop business. Hey, where do you get your taxes done? Because you are, if you're working in this business, you are pretty much your own business. Mm-hmm. It's like you have your own mom and pop store sitting out on the street, which you're freelancing. That's what you're doing. And you need that kind of accountant. You don't need the kind of accountant who's up there telling you, yeah, we can give you money as soon as you come in and we'll fill out your forms, because those folks usually end up charging $300-400 just to fill out a form on a computer and hand you stuff or electronically mail it in. Where an accountant will go through and ask you, did you do this? Did you do that? How many of this? What is your mileage? What is this? And they go through an entire rundown of things. So it's so much better getting it done from the local.
MWSOZ says, "Wait a minute, you make enough money? Make enough money in indie comics to owe taxes, Randy?"
Yes. Yes, I do. Believe me. Especially last year when, good old Trumpy Trump decided to change the tax laws. And I've had a couple of really good years the last few years, thank goodness, knock on wood. But it comes from a lot of different sources of income. You can't just do one thing and expect to make a lot of money. It's like sitting there and doing one comic and going, I'm done for the year. That's it. I'm just going to collect money off of that one book and that's it. No, you have to keep going. You have to keep doing and keep producing. So.
Erik Hodson, Dreaded Dinosaurs, joined us.
Eric.
Quick question, Eric.
Yes, sir.
Substantial amount in art materials and art related to do your job as an artist?
If you're going to be a small business entrepreneur, you need to find a way to make everything tax deductible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no matter what it is, you buy one pencil, figure out a way to deduct that thing.
Yeah, I've deducted movie tickets. That's research.
Yeah,
it's research.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Look at all this wonderful research behind me.
Yeah. I have lots of research behind this sheet here.
Yeah,
lots and lots and lots of research.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Apparently, you can even those conventions, gas. That's gas for conventions.
Yep.
The
Gas,
tables.
conventions, hotels, all your equipment.
Mm-hmm.
This year I bought 3 new pieces of equipment. So for this year, and
I had a good year one year, and my accountant literally told me, look, you're going to have to reinvest back into your business or you're going to be investing in Uncle Sam. It's your choice. So it's like, hey, time to get that sketchboard I've always wanted. That's when I got the Wacom tablet.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Aaron, as a writer, obviously you can claim something like your laptop, your computer, any programs you have to use, books you might buy. I would imagine even going to the movies and going to conventions.
Interesting.
Yeah, that would be something that if I was a writer, I'd say, hey, I have to do these things. Are you going to do any cons this year? Because I didn't know until I knew because we mentioned it, but you're in Michigan as well. So are you going to be at Motor City Comic Con or are you planning on it?
All your mileage to and from that's claimable. Yeah. Table costs. I don't know.
I've never done a table or artist alley or anything like that. I've only ever just attended cons just to be a fan.
When you put that comic out, you can't go back on that side of the table again.
Randy, I know you do a small con. I'm gonna try to visit that one this year.
That'd be awesome.
I just found out you did that.
Oh yeah, I do want it.
Yeah, I just found out last week that you did that. Yeah.
That come out of doing that paper, that Flint Comics paper. I decided to throw a little party up here at the Masonic Temple just to thank people for letting us be out for a year, and it just grew. When the farmers market here in Flint moved from their location to a newer location, they hunted me down and said, we know you do a Comic-Con once a year. What's it going to take to have you come over here and do it? So that put me in a really nice position to negotiate we get this over here. Well, we can do that. Their tables and all of this. Well, we can do that. And soon I was over at the farmers market, and as soon as I moved from the Masonic Temple to the farmers market, my attendance doubled. So now it's become a really big event up here. So it's a lot of fun. I try to keep it. I try to keep that party atmosphere running. We're just here to sell stuff and have a good time and show off our stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and Randy's always make sure that we make sure everyone has a good time there, but also
we try.
I think Randy's always been having the problem he's having recently is scheduling. Is always you got to corral all these weird comic book creators.
Well, the big problem is you have to look at where the other events are, not just the comic events, but the other events in town. Because our fall show, for example, kept a button up against a breast cancer walk that ate up all of the parking for a 2-mile radius. around where we were. So now this year we're not having a fall show in Flint. So because that just got to be too difficult to coordinate that up against, everybody else's event. Plus, all of the other conventions in the area all seem to happen in September or early October, which is where we wanted to be. So we just do the April show, but because we were doing that April show so much, that this market up in Saginaw contacted me and said, "Hey, you do a show in Flint that's really successful. What will it take for you to do a show up in Saginaw?" So I said, "Well, I don't know. If we're going to do that, we're going to need this. Oh, we can do that. I'm going to need this and this. Oh yeah, we can do that. Just come on up. Put up a show up here." So we went up to Saginaw and put up a show, and it was crazier than the Flint show. So.
That's how it starts. Next it'll be, hey, it'll be Kobo calling you, hey,
Yeah.
these Comic Cons, we want in again.
Well, I was looking.
I'm sorry, not Kobo, TCF Center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy
that
only
was the
does
first
his
thing.
Comic Cons.
Yeah.
Randy only
Yeah.
does his cons in places that are like the highest possible murder rate.
Oh no, the places that have the best food. And
He
those
goes to-
markets
yeah,
where you can go and spend the day and look at a lot of comics, go out and have an incredible lunch, and then come back and buy a lot of comics. And stuff.
That's one of
the
the
idea.
appeals for me anyway. When it goes to he's having another market, isn't he? I can eat.
Yep. When the vendors are going, is it at the market? Because at the market they go out for third breakfast and second lunch, and they come back with the styrofoam cases. And that's for tomorrow. I'm gonna have that tomorrow.
Although Randy did tell me next time I'm in Flint, if I want, he'll take me to the north side. Is that it?
The north, what, to see the rough side of town?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Flint. Flint. Flint's got this reputation, just like Detroit, of being real roughneck. But for Flint, there's like a 1.5 or 2 mile radius on the north side, and a 2 or maybe 3 mile radius on the east side where it's really bad problems.
Yeah.
You don't want to drive it at night so much.
I'm like, I want to see the part. I want to see the areas they had in the Flint Town documentary.
Yeah. That was my big problem with the Flint Town documentary, is that they went into that 1.5 or 2 mile area and they filmed it all the way down the street, and that's the only clip that you see. Here's the devastation of Flint.
Well, because the thing was, I remember going to get some friends of mine from
It's like 3 blocks away are all the university mansions. What are you doing?
Well, yeah, because I brought some friends of mine down from Milan, Michigan, and we're headed toward St. Clair Shores. Well, I don't know. I stopped by my house at the time. I stopped by because I was living in Livonia, and I decided, well, I'll just shoot down 8 Mile. Well, they're in the car and they're looking around, and one of the girls, she asked, "Is this 8 Mile?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Oh my God!" And she's on the phone with her friends. She's like, "I'm on 8 Mile, guys. Yeah, it's like the movie." And I'm like, "Oh my God!" I like she was.
I'm gonna see Eminem walking down the street any second now.
Yeah. So that was great. But you got to go out there and do some cons, Aaron. It's safe. It's safe.
There's a girl on the street corner. Let's take pictures.
Yeah. You. She's not even working. What are you talking?
She's carting her groceries. Come on.
Are you mugging that guy? Can I get your autograph?
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Just like in the movie.
Yeah. Aaron, if you get out to cons, I would suggest Randy's con is a good one. He puts up 2 pretty good ones, and then
the Flint show is April 18th. The Saginaw show is at the end of June, June 28th, or June 27th, I believe.
Yeah. And then Eric, you just got back from Portland, Wizard World Portland, Con Report.
The notorious Wizard World Portland.
Yeah.
LlamaCon.
Yeah, LlamaCon. There was a llama there. I thought it was sponsored by DA, but it wasn't.
LlamaCon?
Yeah, the lady brought a llama to
Yeah.
the show. Yeah.
That was her service animal. Come on.
No, the story behind the llamas is basically it's a famous local animal that visits children's hospitals and stuff.
Mhm.
Very temperamental. People were taking selfies with it. I did as well. Might as well.
And Portland Comic Con, which I was not at.
Because how often do you get to take your picture with a llama?
Yeah, no kidding.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was not at Portland Comic Con. I have no idea what happened. But Con Report, how was attendance?
It was very low attended. It just seemed like much less advertising went into this show. Pardon me. I'd say they were probably down a good 20 or 30% over the previous year.
Wow.
None of the people that I saw last year came back because I did a lot of sketch covers at that show last year, and then I didn't do any drawing for anybody other than my just drawing for example.
Yeah.
At this last one, and it was pretty much sitting around waiting. I'm glad I had the product that I did because I did well enough to not have to come home and pay rent with credit cards. But no, it was pretty poor. We're hoping for a turnaround soon here.
Yeah, that and again, it's the notorious Portland Comic Con because apparently you can get assaulted at the show.
Yeah, I don't get what's up with that because there was ample police present at all times, and they have a special kind of cop at Portland called the alcohol monitor. So I guess if you're a dork and you're a hall monitor in school, you grow up, you can become alcohol monitor. They're wearing like almost SWAT gear and they're walking around trying to find drunk people.
Hey, is that a beer? Pull it over.
Yeah, because they have extreme enforcement of like you have a 2-drink minimum, a 1 at any order time, and I don't know, it's ridiculous. But anyway, there was so much security and stuff, and if anything would happen, we would all know about it because it was quiet. And
the
there was
whole group of cops come Trump.
there was nothing that would
like the
define
Keystone.
assault that happened.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, people say they were attacked at the show, so
verbally, not
verbally attacked. Yeah.
It's not GemCon, goddammit.
Yeah. Question for the panel: if you have a small anthology single issue and there's 3 different artists on the interiors, would it be misleading to have a different artist on the cover?
No, not at all.
Not as long as you're labeled as an anthology. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Aaron?
No, I mean an anthology already has several creators in it. I mean, I think it's almost kind of understood it might have a different artist.
Yeah.
On the cover. I've seen plenty of just regular comics where the artist is different on the interiors than the cover artist.
Cover artists are usually badass, while the interiors is Josh has been fun. Yeah,
complaining about indie. Well, guys, it's been fun lurking and listening. But got to find some eggs and get some work done. Indy's freezing. What do you think he's gonna? How's that eggs? Those eggs gonna be used in his work? If it's freezing, maybe he's gonna sit on them and hatch them. I don't know.
He's doing all that experimental artwork now. Eggs,
got it.
Yeah.
Let's not go there. We'll start having strange questions again.
Eggs or something.
Yeah, let's not go there. We might start having secretion questions again.
yeah, we had those already. Were you on the show that day, Eric?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was a guy who wanted.
No. It's all good. Anybody who's interested can go back and listen to the older shows.
Yeah.
3SOZ says you only got one shot to make that comic on 8 Mile. LOL. You gotta take it.
One shot, one opportunity. One of the advantages of small press, says Ralph, is being able to do many different covers if you want it. Yeah, I mean, you try.
We know all about that, Ralph.
Which Eric do you have there? We got Erik Hodson. Yeah. We got and then we got as an anthology. I try to have each artist do a cover.
Yeah, that's always smart.
Rebel says that Eric Hawkins. No, that's not Erik Hawkins. That's Erik Hodson. Yeah. Dreaded Dinosaur.
Yeah, Dreaded Dinosaur.
Yeah. Ralph says, all you can do as many guest covers as you can afford.
And then you'd be like Marvel or DC. Hey.
Yeah.
Here's our 20th variant cover for the same book.
Traco says, drunk monitor. Hey, are you drunk? Me. No, I'm like this sober. And then George Peter Gatz says, why not have 3 artists work on the same cover?
Good question.
Yeah,
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but remember, your cover is going to be your first impression. So make sure it's good.
And on the other hand, if you have an artist that's absolutely phenomenal and somebody opens up that book and they see some amateur stuff, that might throw you in the opposite way.
Well, I mean, comics are not a beautiful baby; they're a product. You got to look at it from all angles of a product, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of books, like I remember during the early 2000s, and we had IDW and Dynamite just cranking out really great looking covers, but the interiors were shoddy.
Yeah,
like pretty much all the stuff I wanted to buy, like the Highlander and Battlestar Galactica books, Dave Dorman was doing these beautiful covers.
Mm-hmm.
I turned the page, it looked like I drew it in high school. I'm like, no, and I just put it back on the shelf because I don't want to look at that.
I'm not watching. I'm not reading this book. I refuse. I've had some X-Men books like that. One, I'm pretty sure, was drawn by somebody's cousin who needed a job, and
I bet that was more than one.
Yeah, it was an X-Men book. It's the interiors are terrible, and I still, and I thought, I don't know if you guys are like this, but like when I was younger, I liked a particular type of art style. Then as I got older and got a better education, I started to appreciate other art styles. This particular book, every time I open it, I still don't like it.
Even to this day.
Even to this day, I'm
like, oh, crap.
Like,
why do I still have this book? It's
George,
an awesome cover.
George says, I have the artist wear lipstick when they draw the cover. There you go. A great first impression. M3SOZ says, one guy draws a head, the other draws a torso, and the third draws the feet. What are you good at drawing? I can draw torsos. Great. There you go.
But then there were quite a few companies like over in Korea that were doing that, weren't they? They had specialists.
Yeah.
People that, we need a hand, send that to the hand guy. We need a Jeep, send that to the Jeep guy.
Now, I'm going to ask you, Aaron, I'll put you on the spot here for a second. When you were creating CyberShock, the comic, did you employ, we're going to ask this of everybody who comes on the show, did you employ at any point a sensitivity reader?
No, I did not. I actually never heard of a sensitivity reader until like a month or two ago. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah. Will you be hiring a sensitivity reader for your next book?
No.
Wait until you see the credit page on my next book. We'll create jobs too.
What is your guys' stance on the sensitivity reader?
I'm gonna hire an insensitivity reader.
Yep. We poke at that with an incredibly large stick, Aaron. That's what
okay.
It's a
sensitivity reader. This.
I heard Zach talking about it for his book.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? This is a thing? Like a normal? Like I'm supposed to do this? I didn't know what the heck was going on.
There are people.
I barely have an editor, so.
Yeah, you have the sensitivity reader. Their job is to look through the book and make sure there's nothing. There's that word again, problematic, in your book. And so this is a person. Here's a good thing. If you want a sensitivity reader, go find the most snowflake-ish person you can, the most easily triggered person you can, and give them the book.
Well, if somebody ain't triggered, it ain't art.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Anymore.
Well, you got to understand, I'm friends with a lot of. I'm pretty much war campaign, so sensitivity reading doesn't come into play too much.
War campaign sensitivity right out the window.
Carla says, question for you guys: to what extent you put the art before the writing? I think they have to be right together. I think you can put. I think the minute you put you try to put
one above the other, you're in a bit of a problem.
Yeah. Now, as an artist, I'm always like, you can't do this before me. You need me. But I know the writing is just as important. How about you, Eric? What do you think?
Well, you definitely need a balance because one of the things that we're seeing in comics now, modern books, is these long diatribes, word balloons that take up. It might as well be a novella hidden in each word balloon.
Yep.
And there's an adage in writing: show, don't tell. And the show part's really, that's the artist's job, is to tell as much of the story possible visually. Because if it can be told visually, then it doesn't need to be said. So that's kind of where that's like a good rule of thumb for balancing your writing to your art. Is this something that can be shown? Let's show it, because the comics are a visual medium primarily.
Mm-hmm.
Secondary, they're a literary medium. So if we can't show it, let's tell it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I've seen over the years, I've seen a lot of really great stories done in a lot of different combinations of words and pictures. And that's part of the fun about the business and getting back and seeing who did what. The Gil Kane black marks or the Big Little books are really big examples of that. If you don't know what they are, then you're probably going to need to look them up.
Who's Russ Manning?
Yeah, exactly. Who's Russ Manning?
The Madman titles.
Well, Carla just Carla just wants you guys to say the art goes way, way, way higher than the writing.
Well, here's
she's married to her writer.
Yeah. Here's
See, I'm on top.
yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. I will say this. And I know you're a writer, Aaron, but here's the problem. When I go to a book, what's pulling me in? That cover, right? The art, usually, unless I heard about a review elsewhere.
Yep.
That I got to pick this book up. Usually, if I go on a store cold or I'm walking through Comic-Con, walking through Artist Alley, what's pulling me in is the artwork. So I'm going to take the book, I'm going to flip through it, I'm going to decide if I want this artwork, if something sticks out to me.
Yep.
Hopefully, the story is as good as the artwork. So the artist is the sexy lead singer of the band. He's got his shirt open, those rippling muscles, those nice 8-pack abs. He looks like John Morrison with a guitar. That's your lead singer. That's who you want. Now the story is just as important because I've seen a bad story with great art before.
Seen it all.
Yeah.
We won't talk about Mark Wade's career.
Yeah.
Right? Not on this show. Carla says, I agree with all of you. However, the first thing the first thing people check is the art, and don't give an opportunity to the story when our art is not that good. Like you guys said, you put it back on the shelf. That's very true. The art is the cover of the book, and everybody judges a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Whether they say not to or not, That's very important. And like you said, I've seen some really pretty books by some really crappy writers.
It's Eric's new cat.
Your new cat?
Yeah, this is Louise. So this episode is now officially an internet cat video.
Yeah, it is.
There we go.
I think JR's coming in the chat.
Perry says hi.
Yeah. I do think now I've heard, and you tell me how you guys feel about this. By running IndieVolt, we do occasionally hire writers. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to a writer who reached out to me. And she wanted to write for me, and she said, what are your pay rates like? And my pay rates, so anyway, but she
Welcome
said,
to Indie Comics.
Yeah, she's like, as far as writing for IndieVolt, she told me, she says, well, there are other sites, and I don't want to put those sites under the bus here, but she said, where we get like 10 cent, 20 cent a word. And I thought, they still pay by the word online? I thought that day was gone.
Yeah.
They trick you millennials.
That explains a lot of blog posts, doesn't it?
Yeah, they tricked you guys again into believing you get paid by the word again. But that's fine. Aaron, if I came to you and said, write me a script, I'll pay you by the word. 4 cent a word. Am I gonna get a wordy script from you?
No, man. I would do it the right way.
Yeah. I always thought about that, like how writers
you can't really apply that to a comic strip though, because like Carla says, it's a visual medium. So.
I don't know, man.
Because a picture's worth 1,000 words. Some artist is going to be rich.
There's a really hilarious meme where I think it's a cartoon like at a panel at San Diego or something like that, and the writer is sitting next to the artist, and the writer is saying, "Great thing about comics is that I can have like 10,000 spaceships fighting and blasting each other with asteroids flying all over, and I pay the same rate as if I'm having somebody just answering a phone."
Yeah.
And the artist next to him is fuming, about ready to explode.
I spent a week on that page.
Yeah. I mean,
You counted every ship too. There was only 9,998.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Afraid I can't pay you a full page rate for this. You missed 2 ships.
You missed 2 ships.
Yeah. I told you that was an E-class destroyer I needed, and you put, yeah. They figured we were geeks in high school anyway. We don't have anything else to do. So Eric, you have a besides the cat in your lap, you have an unboxing for us.
Yes, I do. Recently got Narwhal's Earthbound project came in the mail, and so I figured it'd be fun to open that up on camera for us.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let me get go ahead and talk about something else. I got
All
right,
Aaron, since you're getting
get
ready
that
to
set.
ship, how do you prepare to ship those? How are you preparing to ship those books out? Are you doing it yourself? Are you going to the fulfillment service?
Actually, Sim is finishing up Blood Hunt, his comic book, and we're gonna sort of work together on shipping, because he's over in Canada, and he's got a lot of customers over here, and I need help with pre-press because I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And he's gonna help me out. I'm gonna help him out. We're not gonna use a fulfillment service or anything like that.
Okay.
Well, there's just it just doesn't seem like it makes sense, because I only have 70 backers. He has 100 and some.
Right.
Should be able to bang it out.
Sorry.
You know.
Yep. That's a couple of good movies in an afternoon.
Yeah.
You know,
You guys
to get
figured
that
it
packed
out.
and shipped. Yeah.
So, yeah, like I plan on pretty much just doing it all myself, and with the help of the local post office.
Make sure you don't just put a shipping label on the back cover and ship it.
Yeah, believe me, I know all about this.
Sorry. had to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, Gemini mailers. I ordered some. They were really nice. The company they sent me boxes really quickly. I told them my situation was. The guy said order them in the next hour. I'll get them on a truck for you today. I wasn't charging any extra shipping or anything. And
Oh, that's sweet. Good on you.
yeah,
Good on them.
Just being able to reach out was cool. But Gemini mailers are the standard. I mean, I've had people tell me just don't worry about Gemini mailers. Just put it in a padded envelope and send it. No, when you get a bent up comic in the mail and you're pissed, it's for good reason.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, so.
We've been through it a bunch of times, and we're still deciding. I'd like to use Gemini mailers, but for overseas, it seems to be prohibitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For whatever reason, because it's a box, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been looking at some other hard mailers that aren't boxes. We're not sure.
You could if you do use padded envelopes, you could always put like 2 pieces of hard cardboard.
Yep, that's what
in
we've
there.
been talking about doing. I mean, we're gonna bag and board anyways, and put some cardboard in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't. Let's see here. I'm gonna bring up 2 things. Trico says, if I'm getting paid by the word, I'm writing it more purple than Chris Claremont.
I'm not up on
I
that
love
expression.
Chris Claremont.
Purple, is it Purple Prose? Is that what it's called? Purple Prose? Yeah.
What is that?
It's gonna be very long-winded.
Oh.
Very.
Back in the 70s, you had Don McGregor, who used to take up whole half or 3/4 of a page with the story, dialogue, and prose, right in the middle of a comic book. Killraven had a couple of pages like that. You're turning, great story, boom, block of text. It's like, oh, great.
Ralph Griffith says, pay the artist by the body parts and backgrounds.
There you go.
You wanted a blender? Let's see what my blender charge is. My blender charge is $3.
Hey, I get paid by the tree.
Yeah.
Oh, Bob Ross.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's then the happy cloud. Yeah.
That's my Bob Ross energy drink. There it
That
is.
cloud wasn't very happy. Yeah, there you go. Bob Ross energy drink.
That positive energy drink. Positive energy.
Are you feeling pretty positive?
Yeah, it's wearing off now. This is unopened. I haven't drank this one.
Oh, there you go.
I might not drink that one. Hey, at $2 a can, you can't beat it.
Somebody in the Bob Ross organization's getting happy. That's for sure. $2 a can.
Mm-hmm. Eric, let us know when you're ready.
And hey, if you're out there listening to us on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. If you're out on IndieVolt Radio, tell a friend. Let's get those numbers up. What are we at now?
We are currently at.
Please don't lose Germany again.
No. Actually, it's funny. I don't know if you look back at the video, you'll see him make a face because all of Mexico dropped for a second, but then it came back.
Oh,
Like, we just lost Mexico.
not Mexico.
Damn it, Trump. Yeah, but it was back.
That's all right. The wall blew over last night. It's all good.
Yeah.
Or a section of it at least.
Ralph says, Bob Ross collector's can. Wow. Yeah, it's actually an energy drink.
It's a
Ralph.
positive energy drink.
Yeah, it's an energy drink. From Bob
Little
Ross.
extra happiness for your day. It's not like the old Coca-Cola that
160
you get the extra buzz and all that working.
160 calories. It usually sell them at $5 below.
160 units of positivity.
That's right. Happy little clouds. Just
Happy little clouds.
Yeah.
Read the private chat.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Ready when I am. All right, let's bring Eric back. Eric.
He's got chicken nuggies.
Yeah, he's got chicken.
Awesome.
Chicken nuggies and.
Shoot, I am so sorry. I left all of these wonderfully affordable stickers that you could get for your campaign. Just send me a DM if you're out there and you need stickers for your campaign. Look at all this high quality stuff I left all over this package.
Oh man.
And these things can be cut to just about any shape too. That's so unpolite of me.
Eric, how much would a sticker the size of the chicken nugget sticker cost?
Chicky nuggies.
Yeah.
Well, see, I basically what I do is I charge by the square footage. So $7 a square foot to print any sticker, and 10 to 25 cents per cut. And each sticker is a cut.
Okay.
So if you're going to cut them yourself, I got 2 people right now who order from me. They just buy the sheets in bulk. They cut for themselves all on their paper cutters at home. But if you want individual stickers, you lay them up on the page that I give you, and you just count the number of stickers. If you want fancy cuts, it's just the number of stickers times. It's 10 to 25 cents depending on the complexity.
And obviously you can die cut those, right?
Those are all die cut, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sweet.
All right, so this is not a Gemini mailer. I don't know what Narwhal was thinking. Oh my! It's a solid mailer. This is a good mailing box here, and so let's give her a crack.
Are we eventually going to have the term coined shipping at the Jeff Hicks method? Just asking. I'm sorry.
Open the doors. Ooh. All right.
I see swag.
Yeah, we got
Lots
some
of
swag in the bag. All right, I'm going to save this for shipping my campaign. Okay, here we are. It arrived safely, so good job there. All right.
I'm putting your
We got a sticker here. Looks nice. It's not quite the quality and presentation that I put into the stickers that I make for anybody who needs stickers in their campaign. But I'm sure this was sourced way before I was ready to come to market for fellow indie comics people and CGers. But yeah, we'll stick that somewhere. Business card. I guess I'm now a member of this, whatever this is.
Part of the Narwhal Mafia.
We want our taste.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Hopefully, there's no protection money that I gotta pay.
that would be the
Agreed.
tagline.
Hey,
Narwhal
hey,
Mafia.
hey!
Where's
Yeah,
our taste?
that's protection money. You see what happened to Preston, so there's protection money.
All right, so interesting little
What the heck is
postcard
that?
here.
Oh,
Yeah,
John
it's some kind of postcard here. Probably a reference to something that he had in chat or on a live stream that I'm not familiar with. And we got some adverts. Coming soon to Indiegogo. Seco 66. That's cool. Like kind of
Yeah.
an Ultraman kaiju thing.
Mhm.
Psycho 66.
Is that what this is? Like,
Could be.
okay. Millennials, and they're using other letters to spell
Yeah.
words.
The prospectors.
Yeah, we can dig it. The prospect.
Yeah. But, it looks like
Indiegogo.
olden times folks fighting ghosts. That looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then we got a nice little smaller than comic size print. Looks like about a 6x8. Pretty cool. And here is the book. So I supported him on his first campaign. So I didn't get the hardback in the second one, but really nice, solid printing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this is a ninja print. I don't remember exactly. Smells nice.
Did Narwhal do everything in that book? He
Yeah,
had a whole
this is pretty much him. He's got some thanks, but I think this is mostly promotional thanks.
Uh-huh.
Yep, written, drawn, colored, and lettered by Narwhal.
There you go. One man show. That's awesome.
Edited by Blake and G-Doc. Two good characters.
No sensitivity reader.
Yeah, where's the sensitivity reader?
Well, that's it.
I think it's that cat there, the first one.
Let's see, who's names? We got Ethan in there. We got John Malin, Doug, Cautionary Comics. Yeah. I'm not in there, so I'm not a.
You didn't do anything to help him out. Apparently.
Yeah, I'll apply for the sensitivity reader position next time. I'm gonna complain till I get. Let's see here. Joshua says Earthbound. It's lit.
Looks nice.
Yeah, no, it's a gorgeous looking book. I love his colors.
Yeah.
I definitely want to work with him on a project if.
Ralph says that he heard that Disney shut down folks trying to sell little crocheted baby Yodas on Etsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Etsy's being farmed for things that resemble Alien and Bucket. Thankfully, I did Alien and Bucket, and Alien that likes chicken nuggets, not anything Baby Yoda related.
Yeah.
And there's a backup story here, The Naked Samurai.
Is that also Narwhal? Looks like
Yeah.
a different art style. That's good.
I think that this is a lot looser.
Yeah.
His stuff is generally pretty loose, but I guess would be considered rough for him.
That's cool.
But yeah, no, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that cover looks embossed.
Yes, it is embossed. There
Just
is some,
the logo, it looks like. Is
Yeah,
embossed.
that's
The other one's got a
it's
flat
not
black
really an
on it.
embossing. It's
Like
a UV
Yeah, coating.
UV coating on there.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Nice and shiny.
Mm-hmm. Now, how much did that package cost?
I think this was a $25 tier. You know,
Okay.
I budget for what I can support,
Mhm.
and I typically always go for the $25 tier just because that's, I can support two artists at $25 each, or one artist at $50. I'm going to support two because I'm helping out two people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Aaron, I noticed that you have a digital tier on your campaign. Now, are you fulfilling that by sending out the PDFs, or how are you doing that?
Yeah, it's gonna go out. Well, I don't have a lot of experience, but what I plan on doing is putting it out in a Dropbox link
Mm-hmm.
to all the email addresses that of the people that bought the digital.
Make sure you send.
So we still have to build that.
Make sure you send a nice low res PDF. people, because you don't want them getting the print ready version. Those stickers. Yeah. You know, I mean, PDFs. I'm always afraid. I'm always afraid that PDFs are gonna end up being printed by the local printer, and then
Sim already kind of warned me about that, so
Mhm.
he's on top of it.
Watch the
He'll help
resolution.
me.
Yeah.
Eric, now you have you've been doing the stickers, and you've been and do you think, I'm guessing when you're ready, because I know at some point you're going to do a printed copy of a book that you're working on.
Yes, sir. Dinosaur Man.
Yeah. So you've already got it much smaller now that most of your stuff is is going to be done in house by you. Stickers by you.
Possibly action figures. I'm trying to gear that up this year.
Yeah.
I have one of those fancy 3D resin printers, and I've been working on teaching myself how to do articulated joints in 3D programs like ZBrush and Blender.
Cool.
And Aaron, if you ever need any help, you can reach out to all these guys on here. If Sim's not available, or you just you want to, you need help. I always bother Eric.
My DMs are open on all social media platforms. It's probably my primary method of communication with the world.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no problem. We are at 712 listening on IndieVolt Radio. Do have a Ask Me Anything.
Cool.
Aaron, when your book ships in March of 2020, people can still back it, and I guess I can answer this for you. They can still, you can still purchase the book. It's in demand on Indiegogo, and it's still available for international backers, right?
It's actually not. It's
Okay.
available only in the United States, but I've already done this several times. If you want the book and you're outside of the States, just send me a DM on Twitter or through the Indiegogo, and or through my email or something, and I'll get back to you, and we'll figure out a fair cost, and then I'll just throw up a hidden tier and send you the link. So
Okay. All right.
long story short is the system right now won't let you back if you're international, but if you message me, I'll make it happen.
Okay.
Now just throw the link in on the chat for the Indiegogo page.
All right, cool. And I'll put it on the
Thanks.
description as well. And then here's the pages. I'm scrolling through them once again. For CyberShock. Again, first when I first looked at the art, I'm like, hey, that looks like the Metal Gear Solid artwork. And so knowing that you're a fan, and that's what the artist is a fan of it as well. That makes sense.
Yeah, Zoo is obsessed with Metal Gear. It's like all he draws besides this comic. He has other clients and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you go on his like either his YouTube page or his Twitter, it's like here's this Metal Gear fan art. Here's another Metal Gear fan art. He really likes Kojima, so he does Death Stranding stuff too.
Physical copy you can get that for $15. Digital copy for $7, and the physical copy 2-pack is $25. And he's on track to ship that in March 2020. Same time as our BuzzBox. If you don't know what the BuzzBox is, check that out over on the IndieVolt.com page. We're collecting a bunch of indie entertainment comics, a bunch of stuff, and we're shipping them out in the box. Same time, March 2020.
You're probably going to need to make a pop-up card for that too, so that we can.
Yeah, I did one, but for some reason I think I deleted it. I had a nice little PDF, but I'll work on it. JR says I dig in the art, and watching other pages and art adds fuels my fire and keeps me writing. I'm working and closing on the end of the book too. Awesome. Hashtag Mamba mentality. That's right. Yep. Are you a different beast and the same animal, or is it a different animal and the same beast? Is that what Kobe said? That was a funny commercial. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. He's no longer with us, but I'm sure there's a Black Mamba of comics somewhere. Apparently, it must be Cecil, because he's racking up all types of money right now. I'm jealous.
As is everyone else that wants to throw him to the wolves. So he's made how much? God damn it.
Yeah.
Get him
that's
off.
and now with since your book ships in, have you begun work on version 2.0?
What was that?
Are you working on CyberShock version 2.0?
We are not working on it yet. We have some hurdles to get past to make that happen. And I kind of want to get this one out so that people can see it, and then
Yep.
and then go from there, as opposed to just jumping into number 2 right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kind of want to gauge people's interest, and I also want to, it's kind of hard to get people to buy number 2 when they don't have number 1 yet.
That's very true.
Yeah, and, are you worried that I know you called it version 1.0 just because that's the issue number? Are you worried that people are going to think when they do see version 2.0 that it's the same book just with some added bells and whistles, or are you going to drop that digital?
I've been thinking about that the last couple days. I've been thinking about dropping that for the second issue, because I was going to do 1.0 as issue 1, and then if I did a different cover, because this cover is Indiegogo exclusive, and if I did a different cover, it would be like 1.5 or something. But then I was like, maybe I'm getting too cutesy with this. I got to make this make sense. So it might instead, the second one might just have a subtitle or something like that.
I think that how many pages?
Comics making sense? What?
How many pages is it again? Is let me see.
It's 28.
28 pages. So yeah,
it was. Most people bought it when it was promised at 24. But it's 28 now, so I changed it on the page.
Because also, what's really cool, if you scroll down on your the Indiegogo page, you have a dimension listing. Also, how many pages it is, what condition it's in, how's it going to look. I don't remember what you called it.
Yeah.
Right above, physical specs.
Yeah.
That's also really clever. I like that a lot.
Yep. The cover will never be reprinted. Premium glossy cover.
I stole that one
saddle
too.
stitch behind.
Yeah.
Did you?
Well, that's what everybody should do. They should take what works. If it works for somebody else, it certainly will probably work for you. So
Yeah.
on your campaigns, absolutely.
When you start shipping it, you can put it here on the main page as well.
Once I start shipping, well, I need to make some real updates, like on the actual update section, because I haven't been doing that, and I need to do that.
What was his?
Joshua Perry says he wants a crossover with.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah,
wishful thinking. And M3SOZ says, Cecil has to prove his ability, right? Though right now you're really paying just for a gag. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think the Cecil book is
Cecil.
Yeah. I mean, what has he got? I do think that that book is going to be very it's going to be divisive, but I mean, it's coming. It's coming, whether we like it or not.
I don't think it's the cash grab book's going to be funny, and the other one's satirical. That's the one that's going to be that little ash can that he's throwing in there.
Says JR's working on the book. I've been helping him. I'm probably going to end up. I know he wants to publish it to me, and we did that already. But he's working on the book now. He's working on issue 2. Hopefully, start getting the book drawn and ready. Want to get it out by this year. I'm not drawing it, so so we know that's how we know it's going to come out this year, because I'm not drawing it. if I were drawing it, oh my God, he'd be so behind. But yeah, so it's everybody knows I'm slow when it comes to drawing, but each page is anyway. I need to stop looking at other artists when I'm drawing, because I tend to put other artists right next to my artwork, and I'm like, man, I'm redoing this page.
When you go, is that how you blow the dust off the?
Before he gets back to the page.
Yeah. My friend Joe Ball, he draws. He's doing the Super Harem. He's the artist.
Okay.
Do you guys know Super Harem?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
And he's doing some other books coming up, but he he's like he does all his work. Almost all of his work is done traditionally, and his details, the amount of detail he puts into a page is just, it's insane. Like, I can't even believe it. Like, I saw some of his like thumbnail sketches, quote unquote, and they were like way more detailed than almost everyone else's like full completed art that I had seen.
Yeah. This is have any of you heard this? I had to unfriend an old friend who in a political argument went for personal attacks and made it clear he thinks I'm a loser for being an economically struggling artist. That I didn't give it up and learn a real trade. You know what? I've been told before to get a real trade or pick up a real job. But you know, this is what I can do. This is what I'm left doing, and I love comics.
Both of my parents are dead. No, but that's what I always got growing up. You know, I literally was dragged out of the house one day while there was a crew digging a ditch out in the front yard, and my old man told me, "I'd rather see you doing that than drawing your goddamn comics."
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like I said, it becomes a passion, and that's just what you're going to end up doing. So.
I'm a machinist full time. So.
Okay.
We all have real, so every once in a while we have to go out and get those real jobs just to, you know, cover the bills. Yeah. But the passion, you know, the passion just is not going to go away.
Well, I remember when I was working at General Motors, the other workers did not like me because on break, I'd be in there sketching away. You know, I take a page of my book. They didn't like that, and I remember they definitely didn't like the fact that I said, well, the comic art, that stuff is my career. This is my.
It's just your job.
Yeah, this is my side hustle. They didn't like that. Ooh, they didn't like that. Ooh, I was.
This is how I pay the bills, but not for long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Eric,
get a haircut and get a real job. Yeah.
You've always been drawing, even before disability. You've been drawing.
Yeah, but, all over my homework in high school and ever since.
Yeah. And then and then now, you know, I know you make the joke sometimes, all I can do now. But and then I always say that was God's way of telling you sit your ass down at the table and draw.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't want you.
I'm truly blessed to be able to do what I do with the affliction that I have, and it's a constantly reminder that God is real, and I need to keep my act clean.
And you know, you have been perfectly crafted to hold a pencil now. That's it. Like,
well, you know what? It's actually starting to get worse here recently. The last probably 8 or 9 pages of the Roddy Piper book, I've been drawing in constant pain because I'm getting sores back on my fingers again. This one's notorious. Probably hard to see, but
no.
There we go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I constantly walk around feeling like there's needles sticking in the knuckles of my fingers, and I always have that pins and needles tingly feeling from the neuropathy. So, I'm literally like pain. It's painstaking effort for me to draw right now, but I'm still trying to crank out a page a day. So, you know, when you're turning those pages in future issues, if there's anybody out there that actually bought the book on the IGG, there's a lot of personal pain that went into making these.
There may be actually blood in those pages, but you're doing it digital, so yeah. Do you and now your prices went up. Tell everybody, you know, I'm drawing in pain. I gotta be compensated for that financially. I'm gonna need at least what is Jim asking for now? I forget per page, but I know it's ridiculous, whatever it is. But yeah. Oh, is that the Randy cut out? He did. He's probably coughing up along.
Just a small one.
Yeah. So now CyberShock comes out. We got a couple weeks left before that. You've got Dinosaur Man getting ready to. You're almost. How? What's the percentage? Or you don't want to say?
For the Dinosaur Man book?
Yeah.
The script is written. I just can't draw right now because I'm finishing up the Piper book. So pretty much as soon as I deliver the last page for Piper, I'll be starting the first page for Dinosaur Man, and I'm gonna be teasing art and calling it out and doing some YouTube stuff long before I even have a campaign ready to go. I want to make sure that the pages are pretty much drawn, at least maybe not colored yet, but drawn before I even think about launching.
Yeah. And then, Randy, for you, the crew dig was probably like, what's that supposed to mean?
I don't even know if they saw us. I lived in on an old farm, so well, not a farm, but 4 acres.
Ted Lehman says, thanks for having Aaron on, guys. No problem, Ted.
Oh, thank you, Teddy. Teddy, he drew a bunch of fan art for CyberShock, and he's been super supportive. He was actually backer number 1.
Was it? Okay.
Awesome.
And I had never talked to him once before I launched the book. Like, I knew who he was. He's a great artist.
Yeah. I've seen, it's funny about Ted's artwork there. Okay, so in the book I'm working on, I have a scene where some guys with, dressed in all the SWAT gear and guns storm a building. And I thought I had done really, really well. And then I seen that picture he has posted. I seen it on a crowdfunding campaign.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, damn it. And redid the scene because I'm like, my scene doesn't look like that. So I redid.
It's hard to compare to Teddy. He's great.
Yeah. So Ted's never allowed on the show. Anyway, I'm just kidding.
No wonder you're so slow, Varian.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm always looking at people's art and I'm like, damn it, mine doesn't compare. I'm redoing this page, and then Lola gets mad and
should always get it done, get it out, and then worry.
Yeah, that's a trap there. You trying to compare yourself to yourself, not to other people.
I don't know.
Compare your drawing now to your drawing yesterday, not to somebody else's.
I don't know. I mean, did you remember? You see that tweet I put out a while ago? It says, I said, constantly surround yourself with other artists doing worse than you. Make sure they use words like receivership and unsolvable.
That's not the way that works.
Make yourself feel great.
Yeah.
And JR says, I can't draw at all. I can write and place you in the scene and walk through the motion sequences. Yeah, I mean, that's I think, well, first of all, everybody can draw. You just gotta put the time. And
it's a learnable skill.
Yeah. And you have to give a lot of time to that skill. Otherwise, you're gonna be drawing floating heads and all kinds of crap. Oh,
hey, floating heads. What's wrong with floating heads?
Yeah, my common answer to when somebody comes up to my table and says, "Oh, you're so talented," I'd say, "This is 30 years of practice."
30 years of failure, and I used to have temper tantrums when I was a kid. Oh man, I had temper tantrums. I can't draw this hand right. Cry. Oh, it was horrible. Ted says, you're very kind, thanks. Yeah, Ted, we'll have you on the show at some point, and I'll
then we won't be very kind.
Yeah. But let me finish this last page of my book before I see your art. Let me get it done so I know that it's done.
Just get it done, get it out. Yeah. If you're going to compare yourself to somebody, compare yourself to Kirby that used to do 2 books a week or 2 books a month.
Yeah, see, he had crack cocaine, and
just good mushrooms. No, I don't think he had that either.
I'm pretty sure whoever worked on Doctor Strange was high.
No.
I've looked at those old books. There was narcotics involved, and either narcotics or the mafia was at their door, like, "You want I should hurt you?" You know,
the drugs were a lot purer back then.
Goons, hired goons, come outside. You know,
that's back when they used to put cocaine in the soda pop.
Yeah, I could do 2 books a week then too. You know, they're gonna look horrible, but I can knock out 2
you're
books.
drinking that Bob Ross stuff now.
There you go. You ought to be super positive.
Yeah. This is I mean, look, this is how you know you made it as an artist. They put your face on
an energy drink.
An energy drink. Positive energy, baby.
So as soon as he passed away, the family's like, "Yep, we're just gonna do the Spaceballs thing here. Bob Ross to this, Bob Ross to that."
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's on everything now. He's on Pez dispensers. He's got Funko
I want
Pops.
Bob Ross the flamethrower.
I honestly saw the Chia Pet.
Yeah.
It's there.
How do you think
hair?
You think Bob is looking down like, I really should have had clearances on stuff like this.
Bob probably left instructions to his family.
Yeah.
You know,
Make bank.
make bank as hard as you
Make
can.
bank.
Yeah. That's your last will and testament to my family. Make bank.
Yeah, we made a joke on I think was it Tuesday? We said that I said that I was gonna try to Randy says he'll haunt me the minute he sees the Zim Underoos.
Yeah.
Like,
I will.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
come back and haunt. Unless it's just my signature, and then that's okay. But that's,
Yeah. No, I was gonna.
if it's my face, nobody wants my face on there. Yeah.
Oh, we guys, I'm gonna go around and just buy up let's see if I can buy up the estates of deceased artists and just put them on everything. But I mean, some of those estates are worth millions. In
Get
fact,
the Frazetta. Get that one.
I'm pretty sure that one's sky high.
Yeah.
That one's sky high. Let me see here. And just because I think it's important. Randy doesn't, but I think it's important.
Well, it's important for my family to make bank as soon as I'm gone. But Zim
Oh, no.
Underoos, I don't think so.
Well, no, not so much the Underoos, but the Stanley watch from Citizen. I've got to have it. You guys don't understand. It's a Stanley watch. There are, was it? You there? Okay, 1,922 of these available. The year he was born. Okay, $5.95. They're individually numbered. They're gorgeous timepieces. Check it out. Look at that. Look what it says on the back. Excelsior.
It also says
Now-
"Wow Entertainment" too. So.
Yeah. Look, limited to 1,922 watches, even though it's got a 9-digit serial code number. We're not talking about that.
Does
And
the family have control of the estate now, or is it still that shady guy that was taking advantage of?
no, that shady guy's in jail.
Okay.
I think he's in jail now. Yeah, but yeah. So this is probably the family. Stan's face is on the watch. There it is.
I'm not sure if that's actually his estate or if that's POW Entertainment that's arranging that. I'm
Yeah,
sure his
yeah.
estate is getting some sort of payback on this.
Yeah,
For a
$5.95.
$5.95 watch, they better.
So you guys don't die, because I will roll out INDIEVOLT versions of all your stuff. I'll do that CyberShock watch. I'll do it, Aaron. I'll do that timepiece. It'll be the Aaron Calimeri CyberShock watch. It'll
Could easily do a Spank the Monkey watch.
and see. We're gonna have to. I don't know if Spank has much marketability outside of I can't.
Especially if it has a vocal alarm. It's time. Go spank the monkey. It's time. Go spank the monkey.
I just don't see a Spank the Monkey Happy Meal at any point.
No.
That'd be an unhappy meal, right?
It would be an unhappy meal.
MVLC says Bob never sold one painting, but everyone knows him. Yeah, and his paintings are being sold now.
Yeah, they are. They're out on the market.
Yeah, but he never sold one.
Not by
personally.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, they said he gave away a lot of paintings.
Yeah.
You could have wrote the network and said, "Hey, can I get a Bob when he was alive?
When
Can I get
you
one of
do
those
it in
paintings?"
20 minutes, you might as well just give it away, right?
Yeah. Now people are making serious amounts of money. But Eric says the fine art world is a scam. So
Pretty much.
we're gonna have somebody write in now. Hey, that Hodson guy knows what he's talking about. He said fine art. This is gonna be somebody who's they wear
Fine art.
It's
or
a
modern
tax shelter
art,
for libtards.
Oh, there's a big difference when you spend 100 hours on a painting as opposed to sinking a basketball in the bottom of an aquarium, and calling it art.
That was my new piece. What are you talking about? That's my new piece.
Or taping a banana to the wall. There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna do. I've got one. It's a performance piece. It's called Struggling Artist. I'm gonna sit on the curb outside of Comic-Con with my notepad and a can.
Like
Maybe that Bob Ross can. I'll hollow it out.
There you go. Yeah.
Wait for change. Please, sir. Please, I need a. I like a meal. So we
The
had
little sign that says "Please give for pencils."
yeah, we had we had I can't believe I'm drawing blanks on names right now. We had Antonio Bryce on Tuesday, and that was. I'm sorry, that's funny. I just got a message.
That is funny.
Yeah, upstairs in practices. We had Antonio Bryce on with us last Tuesday. He's the creator of Brand, and that's getting ready to ship. It's really interesting to see all these books that guys were, you know, Comics Kill. There you go. Were sorry, guys were getting ready to push that are now coming to fruition. You're almost finished the Piper book, Eric. Would you say you're gonna ship before
close.
Christmas? Your ship? You think you'll ship before Christmas or?
Most for Christmas this year? Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
The I would hope that everything's going to be shipped out by the spring, but I haven't seen the colors yet, so that's being handled by other people now in order to expedite the production. We've got somebody. We have. Pardon me. The good folks at Rocketing Studios are handling the color and the lettering and that. So yeah, hopefully we should be seeing it in spring.
Cool. I just looked at some Piper matches the other day, so that was reminding me of that and how much that I didn't appreciate him when he was alive. And Aaron, you're shipping in March 2020. If you're late, we are going to grill you so bad on this show. And I'll tell you, I'll tell you, Aaron.
No, we're not.
Aaron, I will. I'm telling you, whenever you guys get in trouble, you might as well get the Roosters because I will deny knowing you. The rooster will crow 4 times. What's the old biblical? It was.
I thought it was 3
rooster.
times. The cock crows 3 times. Yeah.
Before I will deny
You'll deny me 3
times.
times before the rooster crows.
Yep, I will do it, Aaron. I don't know Aaron. He's not been on my show ever. What you talking about? I don't know him.
Cyber what?
Yeah. Cyber frog. I don't.
Frog.
Yeah. Cyber. Yeah.
CyberShock.
Cybertech. I heard of Cybertech. Cybertech. Yeah, we got that on the INDIEVOLT TV. Yeah. CyberShock. No. Doesn't ring a bell. Constantly they're hearing keys click. That's me deleting the clips. But no, I hope you do well. And we can't wait to see what you're doing. And we'll get you back on the show before you actually ship or when you're shipping so we can follow your progress along with that too.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. And feel free to let us know whenever you want to come back on. We always keep an open door policy around. And except for Eric. Eric, he has to beg to get on it. Eric, I have to be nice. Eric takes me to all the good food places. And if you ever need advice on traveling, Eric is also somebody to contact because he'll let you know, like, no, here's where you should stay. Here's where you don't want to stay. Here's where you should stay for one night.
Wear all your clothes to bed here.
Yeah.
Leave the lights on.
Yeah, the MWSD says video deleted. That's right. Video deleted. Me and Eric have done a lot of traveling together, a lot of cons, and we usually we stopped at a recent one. We stopped at the Astro Motel, which is it's rough. It's rough.
Come on! It's just outdated and from the 70s.
Yeah. I don't think anything in that room's been updated since the 70s. When I go in and see a nice box screen TV, I'm like, oh. And that morning I woke up and said, I watched the news here. I turned the TV. The damn remote didn't work. It was good thing I watched TV that night. I'd have been mad. The TV. It was.
If I've only got 4 or 5 hours of sleep, $35 a night sounds.
Yeah, $35 a night ain't bad. Yeah.
Oh,
we drop
Aaron.
Yeah.
That wasn't me, I swear.
Come back.
I hit that button. Aaron, come on back.
Yeah.
Come back, buddy. Come back.
$35 a night isn't bad, but I paid more when I first started when I thought it was okay to spend $400 a night,
Aaron,
stay across the street.
Aaron had shares in that Astro Hotel. He got pissed and left.
Yeah. I want to thank you guys though for going to Wizard
You
World
pick on
Portland.
CyberShock, but don't pick on his Astro Hotel.
We yeah, it says envious is kicked. Yeah. Get out of here. Yeah,
Not on purpose.
Yeah,
Not on
yeah.
purpose.
Yeah, I don't know where he went, but he might. The link still works, Aaron. So if you're watching, the link
Come
still
back,
works.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Come back.
Eric, your next show.
I will be at Astronomicon in Sterling Heights, Michigan. Great show there, put on by the some great folks associated with Twisted, and of course that goes to Insane Clown Posse and all that kind of. They're their own group though.
No, they fell out. They fell out.
They fell out.
It's beef and drama. You don't want to be involved in hip hop drama.
The Twisted guys are great. They come around. They're there at the show. It's a good time. This is the third year for it. So if you're local to the Michigan area, make sure you come out for that.
Yeah.
And check it out. We got lots of really cool guests are going to be there. The writer of the Roddy Piper comic book, Dom Riggio, is going to be there. I'll, of course, be making an appearance. We got some wrestling talent like Brutus the Barber Beefcake will be there, and the lovely Amy Dumas, known as Lita, and the WWE is going to be there.
There he is.
And yeah, so that's my next show. And then I got a couple others in February. And then
Aaron,
That's
did your
it.
dog unplug your computer? You can tell us. Are you there, buddy?
No, I'm dropping it again pretty soon because my battery died.
Oh, no,
But
that's
yeah, we
okay.
understand.
Going to
All
let
right,
you
buddy.
guys know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we understand.
We understand.
Aaron.
We're
Thanks so much
joking.
for coming on, man.
Yeah, we were joking about you actually getting mad about our Astro hotel or motel comments. He's like, hey, they advertise them. Yeah, that's my favorite hotel.
You can pick on my comic, but don't pick on Astro Hotel.
No, we appreciate you coming on. And since I know you're local now, we'll have to grab lunch or something someday.
Yeah, man, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We should all
Sounds
should all
awesome.
get together more often. We keep saying it, and it never happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy. I'm definitely gonna try to. I'm gonna try to come to convention in Flint.
Yeah, come up there in Flint. Absolutely.
Yeah, with Flint. Your Flint show was April. When is it? April
18th.
18th. April 18th. So yeah, and we'll make Randy take us out to lunch afterwards. I'm just kidding. We'll all. Well, no, Randy usually busy afterwards.
Luckily, my wife's at work and didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I hear somebody stamping on the floor right now. Don't promise me nothing. Anyway,
All right, Aaron, if you got to drop, we understand. We'll see you shortly, sir. We'll have you back on the show, and everybody should remember if you want to,
and very
contact you on
infringers.
Twitter. Oh, did I? No, did I? Oh,
Aaron, yeah, you dropped out. Aaron, can we contact you on Twitter? Where can we get a hold of you? Are you there?
Yep. At Aaron Calimeri on Twitter.
And how long is the Indiegogo going to keep
Am I
going?
here?
Yeah, you're here.
you are. Yeah.
How long's the Indiegogo going to stay up?
It's gonna end sometime in February. So
Okay.
if you guys want to, if anyone out there wants to back it pretty soon, because
You're dropping off, Eric, but we sincerely hope you get that IndieVolt bump.
Yeah, it's and you can't end the book in Black History
thank
Month.
you.
Yeah, you can't end the book on Black History Month. You got
It's really awesome.
Thanks for coming on, Aaron. Appreciate it.
we'll make sure we have you back on soon.
Well, I mean, the book's not. It's gonna come out
Yeah.
in March.
There we go. Awesome.
All right, so you have a good day. We'll talk to you later. I'll message you on Twitter. And
right.
he says, yep. Aaron says, Rob says, tell him to reach out to us. We will help him out on indieadvocates.com.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, and indieadvocates.
There
Yep. So yeah, I'll message him that too. I'll message that information. Eric, are you doing MegaCon?
All right, Aaron, you take care. Get that battery charged. All right, Aaron.
Yeah, I think his phone is down.
I think
Okay.
it is.
He's there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Later.
Thanks.
All right, you take care, bud. We'll see
I
ya.
don't have a spot reserved yet. I'm waiting for some more income to come in to see. It's also the same weekend as Steel City, which is also the same weekend as Randy's show. So it's gonna be a pretty busy weekend.
Bumped into more shows again. Yeah. And I moved my date because there was a show up in Birch Run that was supposed to happen that had since been canceled. So
But yeah, if the income comes in, I definitely, because I want to get to Florida more than once this year. So I'll probably send the wife to Pittsburgh if I can make MegaCon happen.
MegaCon.
I got to eat barbecue. I got to go to Smoking Pig on the way. Come on.
Oh man,
Smoking Pig.
delicious.
They're
right.
on the Florida-Georgia line in Valdosta, Georgia, and it's some of the best barbecue in the country.
And it is good food. If you want your question put up with those pretty little graphics, there's an easy way to do that. Very easy way to do that. You simply have to email us. That's right. Email us at indievoltlive@indievolt.com. Please include IndieVolt Live in the subject field and keep those emails to 90 words or less and spell check them because I'm not gonna.
Pithy. Keep it pithy.
Yeah. Also, you guys should remember that good old IndieVolt Radio. You can take it as IndieVolt with you wherever you go. IndieVolt Radio is the perfect companion to our official website, indievolt.com, and of course, IndieVolt Live here. IndieVolt Radio plays the best in indie music, entertainment, news, and more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can get music from talent like Chemical, Park Squares and Alleys, and Dims One. Download the IndieVolt Radio app on Android's Google Play Store or listen in with the Streamer app on iOS. You can also check out IndieVolt Radio by visiting our official site, indievolt.com, and utilizing the built-in player right there on the front page. Outside of that, I should also mention that the music on IndieVolt Radio is not edited. I didn't learn that till yesterday.
I did get called by an angry mom.
No, I was listening. I was like, oh, wow. He just said that. It's only, yeah. There's all type of music. There's rock music on. There's no Swedish metal. Sorry, Eric. No Swedish death metal. But also, IndieVolt TV is the over-the-top streaming service available on Roku and coming very soon to Amazon Fire Stick and more. Stream independent movies, music videos, wrestling, original documentaries, and more on IndieVolt TV. And did I mention that it is completely free? Find IndieVolt TV by searching the channel store on your Roku device or Roku-enabled television. Yeah. Love the
George says
show.
he loves the show, but can I come on as an awesome guest?
Oh, that's easy.
Can you come on as an awesome guest?
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Shoot us a message over at IndieVolt on Twitter, and someone will get in touch with you. Probably Lola, and get you scheduled to come on.
I know we've got we've had a ton of requests, especially after having Mr. Antonio Bryce on Tuesday. That you've been besieged by a lot of people asking to come on. So.
Well, actually, within the last 3 weeks, it's been picking up a lot of people. So yeah, we've got it's really cool to have that. Though it's a great problem to have. Yeah, we can get you.
Yeah.
We can get you because we got 2 shows a week. Technically 3 if you count Lola's show, Geekgasm.
Count Geekgasm or Geekgasm. Come on.
Yeah. So she's getting more popular than me. I don't.
That shoe flying into the picture is coming from Lola.
Yeah. It should be a heel that flies over. Just, ow. Yeah, there's.
She ought to be able to boomerang them by now.
She's but yeah, she gets guested. She's got some guests coming on that I'm really jealous about. So, well, I can't announce who yet, but yeah, that's we got that, and so shoot us a message. It's over at IndieVolt. Or at IndieVolt on Twitter, or you can message us at that email that I put up earlier, IndieVolt Live at indievolt.com. You can also contact us on Facebook. And Eric, where can these fine people find you? Are you frozen? Oh no, you're not. Okay, you're moving.
I saw his eyes move.
Yeah.
I think he's there.
Where can people find you?
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
You can find me on all the major social network platforms. And I just launched a new version of my website, erikhodson.com. So you can check it out there. It's ERIKHODSON.com. No bloody C in my name. And then on any convention floor coming near you. I'm going to be, like I said, at the wonderful Astronomicon in Sterling Heights coming up this next weekend. Or sorry, 2 weeks from now. That'll be my first February show, and then I'm taking a trip down to Plano, Texas for Plus Ultra Expo, a My Hero Academia themed convention down there.
Jesus.
And then my dumbass is flying to Alaska in February for
Whee!
Elasticon in Fairbanks.
That'll be
So
great.
that will be one heck of an adventure.
Yep.
I plan to try to film another episode of our show you've refused to edit together and put out. I got footage for two now, I think. Right there.
Are you worried that going to Texas? I mean, Alaska in February is going to be. Do you have enough clothing?
See, that's what I'm trying to gauge. Like, do I wear all the underwear I own at once? How many socks should I wear? Plus, it's a different logistical nightmare to get stuff up there because pretty much the only way in and out is Alaska Airlines, and they're not Southwest, so there ain't no 2 bags flying free in check.
Yeah.
So I have to be creative about what I'm bringing. I absolutely only bring what I absolutely have to. So I'll probably leave my light kit and my speaker and stuff at home just to make sure I've got more artwork and stickers and stuff. And yeah, it's going to definitely be an adventure.
Yeah. Ooh.
Pixel must be out on the West Coast. He says, "Wow, I didn't realize you guys come on so early."
Yeah, we it's our morning show on Thursday. Yeah, Pixel, who's Lord bless him, Lord bless him. He's had some difficulties during his way this last week.
9 a.m. Thursday at 9 p.m. on Tuesday.
Eastern Standard Time.
Right. Eastern Standard Time. Yes. So on
It's the
West
only
Coast,
morning
that's all
show
sixes.
guaranteed to not be woke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes literally.
Yeah. What comics? Huh?
But yeah.
Yeah.
Varian, get up.
Yeah. Who's Ross Manning?
This time it was me getting around fast enough to get on the air. So, yeah.
I didn't know Russ Manning. I didn't know Wally Wood.
That doesn't mean you're woke or not woke. That just means you're young.
Yeah. And Randy keeps telling me look up some guy named Will Eisner. I know Mike Eisner from Disney, but I know Michael Eisner from Disney, but I don't know any.
Yeah.
Will I know Will Eisner. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming on with me. Randy, where can they find you?
Pixels in San Diego.
Is he?
Yeah.
We know we're staying. We go down to con now. We're staying at Pixels'
There we
house.
go. There we go, Pixel. My next show is the Great Lakes Con coming up, I think, 3rd week in February. Then it's my show in April 18th here in Flint. Then the end of June 27th up in Saginaw. And then I go wherever I'm invited. So if you want me at your show, drop me a line. I'm on Facebook. I'm every once in a while I'm on Twitter. So randyjzim@gmail.com.
This is probably gonna get me uninvited. But how come neither of you guys have done Black Age of Comic Con? Motor City Black Age of Comics.
Haven't been invited. Haven't been invited.
You haven't been invited, huh?
No.
Yeah, okay. I've done that show. I didn't actually. We covered that show as INDIEVOLT.
Don't know why, but I figure it's like that Russ Manning and Wally Wood. They go, Randy who? We don't want him at our show. What's he done? Nothing.
Pixel.
He's only moved 1 million papers. What's he done?
George says he's tweeted us, and then CyberShock Excelsior. There we go.
Excelsior. There's the name for the next book right there. CyberShock Excelsior.
There we go.
Why not?
All right. Yeah.
That could be the next hot anime.
It could be. It could be.
I'll be working on that later.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give you that name.
Yeah. There'll be
That's
yeah.
That one's yours. What did I claimed something on Tuesday? I don't even remember what it was now.
It was Proxy.
Proxy. Yeah, I got Proxy.
Yeah.
That's my next book.
I gave Varian an award-winning idea in our chat, but I'm not going to say it out loud. You have to.
Yeah, we're talking about a troll who I know who they are now. There's two of them. It's down to 2 people. Decided to nickname me because I'm uppity apparently, and I said this on the show before. The Silver Spoon Coon, and so I know Randy gave me an idea. Randy said should have a raccoon for the big silver spoon fighting, but Eric said it's gonna be
with your cap on.
Yeah, with the cap on. But Eric, yours was he a free? Was he He wasn't.
It's a story about a freed black man during Civil War times who assists the Underground Railroad fighting off Confederate werewolves with his jagged silver spoons.
Yeah. They look like sporks. They just, it'll be awesome. We're gonna take the Silver Spoon Coon franchise way out.
Could be the uncredited inventor of the spork.
Yeah. Because he got to get killed at the end, and they just find this. What is this? And all this time, the spork was invented by a black man. We didn't even know it. Look at that. See?
He could be sporking out werewolf eyes with it, you know.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me, guys. Remember, this is IndieVolt, where we
Gold.
Yeah, see that gold. We're gonna get it done.
Is it drawn by Robert Crump? No. That's a whole nother can of worms, M3SOZ, but it could be.
Yeah.
And if it was meant to be solidly satirical. So
there's remember when we fight against this mentality, the mentality of
can't nobody tell me nothing.
because
that's right.
After we fight against here, we're trying to educate you. Thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see everybody back here Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. And then, then Geekgasm is the next day at Wednesday at 9 p.m.
Yep.
And then me and Randy are back here at 9
a.m.
Thursday
Eastern
morning. Standard
Time.
All of those times, Eastern Standard Time. Maybe we'll do one at some point. We'll switch the times up. We'll start going to Mountain Time. That's to mess everybody's
people
head.
coming on. Where's the show? The show's 3 hours from now. What?
Yeah.
I'm still on West Coast time. I haven't been able to get to bed before 2 a.m. I'm like,
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then that's oof. That's gotta be rough.
Yep.
Check in with Ethan. Still not there.
Ethan's never there.
Yeah, never there.
This time of the morning, he's probably sleeping it off. So it's okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching us, everybody. We appreciate it. We will see you, everybody, Tuesday. Until then, have a great weekend. Keep drawing. Keep reading indie comics. Buy from us. Just buy from all of us.
Bye from all of us.
Yeah.
remember, if you need stickers for your campaign fulfillment,
at Dreaded Dinosaur, you tweet them.
Yep. Thanks a lot, everybody, for being here. Thanks, IndieVolt Radio listeners. We appreciate you all.
And make sure you go back CyberShock while there's still time.
Back CyberShock. Do it now.
CyberShock on Indiegogo. Go find it now.
Go find it. Yep. We'll see everybody. See you soon. Take care.